Hey guys, Hectic here. In today's video, I'm going to show you an absolute insane Strand build. In today's video, you will learn a Strand build that will give you a 60% damage reduction, and most importantly, will shred any enemy you see. Before we get into today's video, please hit the like button or subscribe to the channel. It greatly helps me out and goes a long way. Only, of course, if you find this helpful. Also, most importantly today, we have a sponsor.
I would like to recommend you a great service. Diving.net, you can find teams to complete different activities like raids, dungeons, trials of the stars, exotic farms, and many more. All the services can be done without account sharing. You don't need to give your login or password. To order a service that you like, you need to choose the self-play option. When you select something that you like, choose your platform. In this case, if you play on PC, select PC. From here, to choose the self-play option, go all the way down and then click self-play. After you're satisfied with what you're going to purchase, add to cart and then click purchase. After finding out what you want to purchase, you're going to want to go to your coupons and type code HECTIC for a 15% discount on all products. From here, type your email so that they can contact you. Then choose a payment method and check out. I'd highly advise this service. The best part is you can contact an operator at all times, 24/7.
So, for starters, I'm going to leave some weapon suggestions for this build. I like running Witherhoard and the Ikelos SMG. It is one of the best weapons in the game right now with the GL buff, 20% damage buff, so Witherhoard is in a really nice spot, and I don't see it getting nerfed anytime soon. This build does not have any weapons that synergize with it, of course, so it does work really well. So weapons are full of preference, but definitely consider Witherhoard and Ikelos SMG. Next thing we'll be covering is aspects and fragments. So these are going to be the crucial part of the build. You're going to have to run exactly what I say here or else this build will not turn out for you. By far the most important aspect of this build is the 60% damage reduction that Wolverine Mail will give you. Now, as we start with this build, please take in consideration that overall it is overpowered, but you're going to have to go unlock the aspects. Some of them will require you to unlock and some won't. Anyways, for aspects, the first one you'll need is Insarring Slam. What this will do is activate your air move to consume your ability energy and dive to the ground. While doing this, you're going to suspend all targets nearby on impact. This ability also extends the class ability cooldown. Overall, it is great for suspending targets, which makes it a lot easier to kill. It's not the greatest, but unfortunately at the time, I feel like this build will get better, but due to there only being two aspects currently, this is the only one you could really run. Now, the next aspect that you're going to want to run is Widow's Silk. What Widow's Silk will do is give us an additional grenade charge. As you use a grenade, it's going to recharge your other grenade, which will be the grapple hook in this case for this build. Jumps can be straight up preference. I like using strafe jump only for the momentum because you're not using stompies. It is overall preference, but I prefer strafe. For your second ability, you can only use the second ability, of course, because there's no other seconds, but you're going to want to run the grapple hook. Now, let's get into the fragments for this build. Starting with the first fragment, you're going to want to run Threat of Ascend. This is an absolute S tier fragment. What it does is activating your grenade ability reloads your equipped weapon and grants bonus airborne effectiveness for aiming for a short duration. So essentially you're going to get a free reload while using your melee ability, or grenade, which essentially is going to be your grapple hook. This will give you instant reload, so if you're in a tight situation, you'll be able to auto reload your gun, so it's almost like auto loading holster. Now, for the second fragment that you're going to want to run is Threat of Fury. What this will do is damaging targets with the Tangle grants melee energy. So when you're using a grapple hook or you get someone woven mail, it will essentially tangle them and give you grenade energy, which is going to be super helpful for keeping your abilities up. And overall, it's just good. It's kind of similar to Heart of Endless Light, but a little bit worse. Now, to get into the next fragment you're going to want to run is Thread of Wisdom. Defeating suspended targets with precision final blows creates an orb of power. So when you eliminate somebody with a headshot, it will drop an orb of power. When you collect that orb of power, you're going to get Woven Mail, which will essentially give you a 60% damage reduction. This is where the build really starts to get good, and you have to pay close attention here to get the full power of this build. Now, since we're finished with the aspects and fragments and abilities, for the exotic, you're going to want to run the Assassin's Crawl. I'll explain why next. So what this will do is powered melee final blows, grant invisibility, and restore a portion of health and shields. Finishers and final blows against more powerful targets increases the shield duration. So overall, this exotic is absolutely S tier to keep chaining your health with Woven Mail on top of the 60% damage reduction. So I definitely would suggest using this exotic with this build if you want to have the most powerful build and want to get the most out of it. Now starting with the armor mods for the helmet, you're going to want to chuck on a Discipline mod with Arc Siphon, as well as Strand Siphon. What this will do is Rapid Strand Weapon Final Blows create orbs of power, preferably Arc Siphon if you are using an Ikellos SMG, because you can chain Woven, which is going to be really good. The last mod is Hands On, gain bonus super energy on melee kills. Next for the arms, you're going to want to run the following mods: Discipline mod with Heavy Handed, as well as Grenade Kickstart, and another Grenade Kickstart. This will help you chain your grenade, which then will help you chain orbs to keep up the buff, which gives you the 60% damage reduction. Next for the chestplate, what you're going to want to run is a strength mod with arc resistance as well as concussive dampener. What this will do is reduces incoming area of effect damage from combatants. So if you're fighting a toemate or anything like that where they have aerial damage, it will help you take less. Then you're going to want to run solar resistance. Next for the boots, you're going to want to run Invaration as well as 3 Invarations. What this will do is essentially help chain orbs. Reduces grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. This is super crucial for this build. Now for the cloak, or your last armor piece, you're going to run Strength with double Outreach as well as Bomber for the last slot. This is definitely going to be the best mod setup you can have possibly for this build. Alright, so when you're wanting to focus your stats, what you're going to want to ideally do is try and get 10 Resilience, 10 Strength, 10 Discipline. That is honestly the best stat you can have. Ideally for this build, try and get the lowest intellect and mobility possible and focus all those other stats into resilience, because you get that damage decrease and resistance, which is really, really important if you're trying to, complete endgame activities and stuff like that. So overall, definitely consider running the 10 discipline, 10 resilience. Ideally, if you can't get triple hundreds, just do a double 100 build where you have 10 discipline, 10 resilience, and around 7 recovery. That will grant you the best power with this build. If you aren't running the highest potential resilience, you're going to have a harder time in endgame activities, as you won't get that damage reduction. But if you guys found this build video informative, professional, or any kind of positive way, please hit the like button and let me know some positive things in the comment section. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and stay safe. Peace.